Hi and welcome. This is my first official training video for Edmodo. I'm not doing it for them. No, they did not hire me. But I know a lot of teachers are using Edmodo at this time, April 2020, COVID-19. Wow. But one of the cool features of Edmodo is that you can create quizzes on Edmodo, and Edmodo, in some cases, can mark them for you and give your students the grades. And that is what this video is here to assist you with, how to create those types of quizzes to make your life a whole lot easier right now. So on my screen, I have my home page for Edmodo. At the top, you have the bar that says Edmodo. It says home with a little globe. Then you have classes. Underneath classes, there's a little drop-down menu. Then you have discover, which is super cool. I would recommend anybody who is just coming onto Edmodo recently to play around with that. Lots of cool stuff there. But today we're going to be going into the library. So let's click on library. And this is where we are going to have the ability to create our documents. Now, looking at the top from where it says library, you have a list of different folders that I would have had from throughout the years, starting from 2015, I guess. I'm not going to dig back any further, but let's go over here. There is a button that says new. So if you can see my mouse, there's a button that says new on the right-hand side. I'm going to click on that. There is a drop-down menu. And on the drop-down menu, we're going to go to quiz. It says create your quiz below, and that's what we're going to do. Click on create quiz. All right. Now, over on the left-hand side, it says untitled quiz. Underneath that, number 1, quiz details. Those are the first set of things we're going to add. And then secondly, we're going to add our quiz questions. So let's fill out our quiz details. The title, and we're going to call this addition. Right. And yeah, we're going to keep it simple. And then I'm going to give instructions. And I'm going to say, please do all working as we would have discussed in class. You don't have to put all of that, but for the walkthrough, I'm just giving you a sample of how your instructions can be. All righty. Underneath the instructions, we do have a time limit that we can set, and it is in minutes. So you can decide if the assignment you gave 15 minutes. Sometimes that helps to keep them a whole lot focused once they have started. Now, you might have an emergency from time to time where power goes out, in which case you can reassign, even if it's just to that one student. All right. Underneath the time limit, you have 3 options. The first one is to show students their results upon completion. This is not referring to the grades. This is referring to which questions they got correct or incorrect. The second one is the option for Edmodo to lock the quiz after the due date. So whichever date you specify, if I want this done by next week, Tuesday, and today is Friday, following Tuesday, Wednesday, students, if they decided to do it at that time, they would be unable to do so without your permission. You would have to open it up for them, and you would have the ability to do so. The third option is to randomize questions. This here can be useful because in a lot of cases, students tend to share answers, but they can be lazy in sharing their answers. So they would ask, what you get for number 2? And if they are sharing like that, it's going to be a problem. They will get it wrong if the questions are randomized because they will be in different orders for different students. All right. So let's do that because I got that little streak on me to do that. Now we're going to go to quiz questions. This is number 2. So on the left-hand side, we have quiz details. Underneath that, we have quiz questions. I hope this. So I'm clicking on quiz questions. Now the first thing you're going to see is that you have a choice of what type of questions you want to use. You can go true or false. And let me just say this. The ones that are usually going to be automatically graded on Edmodo would be the true or false, the multiple choice, fill in the blanks, matching, and multiple answer. The short answers are not automatically marked. You would have to grade those yourself, go through those, which would be fine, I know, for a lot of persons, because it still would be easier than what they would normally do, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use fill in the blanks. And again, I am a math teacher. Well, science and math trained, but I teach math, so that's where I'm gonna lean, okay? Question, text, it just means I'm going to write the question. Keeping it simple, 3 plus 4. And I'm gonna put an equal sign. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the underscore to show where I want the blank space to appear. And I'm just reading what they have underneath here. So just in case you forgot, I'm gonna use my shift key. There we go. Now the minute I put that underscore symbol there, down at the bottom where it says responses, you can see where I can enter my answer in. And I'm gonna put 7. So if the student puts 7, then it's fine. But it has to be the exact answer. So when you're doing these kinds of things, if you know your answer is going to be for math, a number with more than 3 digits, you would need to specify to the students whether you want them to use a comma, whether there's to be no spaces, and you might want to give them a heads up in how they're going to present their answer because it will be marked incorrectly. Now, you do have an option, again, where you can go back and manually check the answers and also manually edit their grades. So all of this is cool. Underneath here for grading, you can see where it says how many points for correct answer, and I'm going to do 1 point. I'm finished with that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this question because the second question is going to be very similar to the first one. So I'm going to hit duplicate. So now number 2 is here. And I'm just going to change this here. I'm going to change that 3 to 7. I'm going to change this 4 here to 9. Notice my underscore is still in place. And you have a lot of different options because you can also attach files if you wanted to show a diagram along with this, if you wanted to add a link to another web page where there is a specific question, or maybe you wanted to add a link for notes to assist with that question. And the same thing could be said with the files. You can also do this with your library. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm going for number 3. I will show you something that I have done before. And let me duplicate this question again. Coming down to number 3. Something that I have done before is where I have a worksheet and I want the students to fill it in. Sometimes I would just let me come right here. All righty, pressing the wrong thing. So in a case like this, I would ask students to, let me pop in an equal sign. I would ask students to just enter their answers in. All right, so they would just have the corresponding question. So you notice I don't have a question here. So in a case like this, I would attach a file of a worksheet, or I would have used a link to another web page where the questions are provided and the students would just fill in the corresponding answers on this. So this is my little thing that I am sharing with you that I do sometimes. Okay. And for this particular question, number 3, my answer might be 24. All right. So, and then you can just keep going. You can add new questions. You can build your own question bank. That is fine. At this point, I hit assign, and I'm going to decide who am I going to send this to. I can send this to any one of my classes. I can actually send this to multiple classes. So I'm not going to send that. Well, okay, you know what? I'll send it to my 2016 class. I can send it to them. I will also send it to my 7G1 class. Okay. Um, and I'm going to give them a due date. Okay, so I might want this to be due next week, Tuesday the 21st. And I want it to be due at 1 a.m. I can schedule that time in, not a problem. And then, of course, reconfirming what do I want? Do I want the students to see their results upon completion? Do I want them to lock it? Do I want them to randomize the questions? Further down, we have some other options where I can tell them, yes, I want these results to be added to gradebook. And then here, I could schedule this assignment for later. So I don't want this assignment to go out today. As a matter of fact, what I tend to do is sometimes, you are just in that mood, whatever reason. Or maybe you are up at 3 a.m. and you're not going to sleep. Sometimes I like to roll out a couple of assignments one time and schedule them at staggered intervals. So I can schedule this for later, set my date, set my time when I want this to roll out. So you know what, it's Friday, but I'm gonna let this roll out on Saturday, and this is gonna come out at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I'm gonna click assign. And that is my assignment schedule. This is going to pop up on the students' page when they log in again on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. All right, and you will notice that you can find this quiz. I will now be able to find this quiz in my class or in my library. I'm going to click got it. There you go. And that brings us to the end of this first session. If you do like this video or if you want to see more of it, please like and follow. Also, you can make a note as to any other types of things that you're interested in, and I will get that hooked up to you, usually within the week. Take care.